Hello and welcome to the Tarkus Zone. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be talking about my Royal Enfield motorcycle, my 350. Now I've only owned the bike, it will be a week tomorrow, I believe. So I've owned it 6 days. I've put a lot of miles on it. We're going to look at that in a moment. I just wanted to talk about a couple things that I had mentioned in previous videos that I just want to bring up again today. The storage on the unit. A lot of motorcycles that I've owned in the past had a compartment where you could put a wallet in, or you could put your insurance and registration. I did actually find somewhat of a compartment on this. It's in here. Let's just look at it real quick, because I know I mentioned it, that most motorcycles usually have them, and it's right there. So this bike does have a little storage component for at least your registration and your insurance. So you can lock it right behind that panel, which is a great thing. And the other day I said, well, I'm just gonna start looking at some of these components, because I guess my word storage might have been what maybe confused when I asked the question, is the bike have any storage? And maybe they were just thinking like that. What I meant by that was, does it have a place where you can tuck away paperwork so you can just leave it on the bike? So that's resolved. You can put that paperwork in a Ziploc bag and stick it in that slot. This component, or this compartment, is your battery and it's your toolkit. Let's see if I can get that in there. Yep, easy peasy. As for the overall bigger storage, I went with these saddlebags. These bags were given to me like 15 years ago. I had a friend give me 2 sets of them for free. They were moving. They didn't want to cart them around. They're like, you can have them, Tarkus. They've been in my garage there for 15 years. So when I bought this bike, I was thinking, the company does sell hard cases for it. I just put these on, and I think they look okay with the bike. I mean, they're kind of old school. They got the kind of old school look, but they do exactly what you need them to do, right? They store things. And what I did on this side of it is I put some Tupperware dishes in here, and that's where I put my paperwork. So I've got Tupperware dishes that has the bike paperwork right there. As you can see, I still got the plates on it, the paper plates on it. I haven't got the Vermont plates yet. They'll come in the mail. So let's also talk about the mileage I have on here. All right. So right now, it's telling me that I've got 387 miles, and I think what the lens is having problems with it because of the water droplets. Well, I got 387 miles, and right now the engine light is blinking. So if you get this bike, don't be concerned about that. I went to Auto Haven, talked to Sean, and he's like, that's just a service light telling you that you should bring it in for your first service. So what it is when you buy the motorcycle, when you get up to the 300-mile mark, it tells you or indicates to you that you should bring it in for the first service, so they can just look the bike over, make sure everything's where it needs to be. So I made that appointment with them at Island Auto Haven on Route 2. That's where they sell this bike. And they're gonna be looking at it next Friday. So, we'll just have them look at it then, and then they'll reset that light and it won't be blinking anymore. But overall, it's been a great bike. I mean, for a 350, this thing hums. Now, I'm not talking speed records here. I'm talking, you get it up to 55, 65 miles an hour, this bike feels comfortable. It's not squealing at you. There's a lot of 350s. When you get them up to that speed, you can hear the engine like crying. And that's not the case here. I mean, even when you try to get up to the 70-mile-an-hour, because I did try doing that just to see if the bike would get up there, it does at that time kind of start talking to you like, okay, you're asking me to do a lot. But for me, on these rural roads in the islands, this bike has been perfect. I mean, for you know, I've only owned it less than a week, and I've already got that many miles on it. If that tells you anything about it, is it rides nice. And again, you can Google Island Auto Haven. They're the dealers up here on the island. They'll put you in a bike that meets your needs. I mean, this is a 350. They sell the 650. So if you're looking for something a little more meaty, then you can get the 650. All right. Well, thank you for joining me. And this has been the Tarkus Zone.